done on the audio just made the stream I did earlier for like an hour sound terrible. So my first and foremost, I owe everyone an apology. So please forgive me. I'm sorry. That was a terrible sounding stream. My utmost apologies. I never want anyone's ears to be bothered when they're watching a stream or listening to a stream because it's really important that it is a and foremost a good experience with audio because I know you got headphones on and you don't want your ears blown out and you don't want it sounding terrible. Visuals can be okay because you're looking on the phone, but sound has to be crisp and clean. And I owe you an apology because, frankly, it was not. And that was 100% on me not doing an audio check while I'm sitting out here just live streaming in a loud environment. And the auto gain function that I set up, which works normally good in a quiet environment, worked quite terrible here because it was trying to assess for noise and then bring back the sound. So it was just terrible. Now, that being said, let's talk about cameras tonight, y'all. If you're interested in cameras, if you're a live streamer and you're doing one of these a lot, which a lot of people are, cool. I got nobody texting me yet. Um, there's a lot of cool cameras out there, but I think the best one for your money for $1,200 or less, just getting into this and maybe even turning this into a visual career, would be the ZV-E10 Marks II. And Sony, y'all, your convention, the naming convention is absolute trash. When I say trash, it's trash. It's by far the worst possible whatever you got to say on this period. Uh, First and foremost, please make any comments. Please comment. Uh, Let me know what you like to know about camera. Now, I'm on Sony's website. I'm going to start there. There's been tons of reviews. There's been tons of videos on this camera, the ZV-E10 Mark II. Essentially, this camera is an FX30 Lite. So if you've ever shot with an FX30, you know that's a really great camera. I do a lot of interviews, B-roll, little segments with the FX30. Welcome to the stream. Okay, they took off from the stream. With the FX30 and the ZV Mark 10. I don't want to say this. Just the E10 Go with the 10-2. The 10 Mark II, because the rest of this naming convention is stupid. Um, if you go with this camera, you're going to just knock it out of the park. I'm on Sony's website just because I just want to use their site. It gives me a lot of cool information on this. Who cares about the extra warranty, aesthetics? Let's start right here. If you have the ZV-E10 Mark II, you're going to get a super comprehensive suite of video options. So you can get up to 4K 60, you can get 422 10-bit, and you can also get all intra. For those who aren't interested in all intra, it's cool. I'll get into it later, but just know that's going to be there. You're going to get the S-Log 3 features too, so you're going to get color like you wouldn't believe. You're going to get great color, straight up. It's going to be easy to work with. Where is the S-Log 3 stuff at? Hold on. This sensor is the same sensor that's sitting in the FX30, which is pretty cool to get a sensor that's used in an entry-level cinema camera, but it's in the ZV line, which is basically for podcasting and live streaming. That's pretty awesome. Not every camera manufacturer does this, and I think it's one of Sony's mainstay strengths is they do this. They tend to just give you a lot for a little bit of money, and not everyone's willing to do that because Canon's not going to give you a high-tier sensor on their camera. It's just not who they are. They're just not gonna hand that off for free. Sony will. I don't know why. I'm not sure. Thank you for watching. But they just want to give away some of their top sensors, and that particular one there is just Sick. I've been using it for a little over 2 years or so, and it works really. Actually, since the day the FX30 was released, I've had the FX30 and had that sensor. And I keep bringing up the FX30 because it's the only way I can describe this camera is off the FX30 because it really is the FX30. Hey, how you doing there? Why am I not getting your comments here? My apologies. I see like 80 y'all watching, but I'm not seeing comments. Give me just 1 second here. Sometimes I have to go over to my phone and do this too. Hey, Chad, Melina, and Jen. Thank you for watching. Sorry, I have to literally go over to my phone and see the chat because for some reason this software is really slow and slowing the rest. So, hi to you. Hi back. Back to you. So, sorry I didn't see that in there. Please forgive me. I'm seeing the comments on my phone. So anyway, the FX30 is what I've been shooting on for a very long time. And seeing this sensor over with a less expensive camera that's $1,100 that gives you most of what the FX30 has, the same visual quality as the FX30 without going into like the raw features or the audio handle is amazing. Does have the upgraded whatever the name of their computer chip it is for doing autofocus, and I think that's really cool. Welcome all to the chat. Welcome everybody that's popped in. I'm only looking at the A.P.C Productions channel. I should probably bring up the other one too. Essentially, I'm talking about the EV-E10 Mark II and some of the cool benefits of that particular camera. Let me pop into the other one. Give me just 1 second here. I'm pulling some information up to make this a little bit more information for you. What I'm really talking about is how this is an impressive camera to up what you can do game-wise with your work, because a lot of people are interested in doing, live streaming and stuff like that, but not sure what's going to be the best one to go with. And having some of the best to work with is going to be one of the better options to do. Hey, you're new? Nice to meet you. Hi, Dylan. Nice to meet you. Okay, so hi, Dylan. I'm still working some kinks out here. This has been an interesting stream night, so please forgive me. Basically, when you're looking at the EV-10 Mark II, you really are looking at like the best little camera you can get your hands on. Jumping over here real quick. Ooh. Switch over to this one. All right, cool. I got you both up. Sorry, took me a second to kind of get back into the mix of things here. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate you subscribing. Appreciate you subscribing. So, these cameras, thanks for the like too. I appreciate that. These cameras set a whole new standard for the ability to do live streaming without jumping into like a $10,000 camera or $4,000 camera, because you can get an FX30's level of equipment, which is a $2,500 camera, and still get great live streaming out of this. Another couple cool features on the EV-E10 Mark II is going to be the ability to use just about any lens you want, the ability to change the look to anything that you like. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have played in studio with the looks and feel of what a camera can do, but having the ability to switch out your look to a vibrant look, to a more graphic-y look, to a more uh, one of the really cool like vibes that you have as you're doing your live stream is really nice to have. Thank you for the likes, by the way. Thank you for watching. I see there's 7 of you on there right now. And this camera allows you to develop a look that is your personal look. And you do it through playing with these creative tones and looks. And it's pretty cool because you can set it up to where if you like light or dark colors or whatever it is, it fits your style of look. And that's awesome because you get a good vibe and feel going into your live stream and also into your video. Now, for those who are going to jump onto some of the more advanced features on this camera, you can even jump into some of the really cool high-end advanced stuff that you would normally have in an FX series camera from Sony, with like a S Cine tone with a mood of gold, which, as you see, there's a mood feature to it, which changes the skin tone, which changes the look. Works really good with black and African American or brown and tan people. This isn't. Thank you, Dylan. Have a good night, man. It really helps with melanin colored individuals because it really gives them a good look. It gives them a nice feel, which is nice. Now, autofocus on this, I love this part. If you've used Sony for any period of time, autofocus and tracking a subject is sick. It is by far one of the coolest features you will find on this and any Sony camera in general is their autofocus. I find it to be one of the easiest to work with. You can lock on to anyone at any time and keep that image looking really good on the person that you want. It works really well, and this is going to sound kind of race baiting type thing, but there are certain cameras that just do not do a good job with tans or any skin tones that are outside of the essential middle gray, where Sony does a really good job with colors that are outside the middle gray. And I love that part because if you're a videographer and you're trying to get the most out of your camera, you want the autofocus to work really well. There's some other professional tools on this too, which is called focus mapping, or if you wanted to use your cell phone, which is the really cool part. You can take your cell phone and you can connect it either through USB-C or you can wirelessly connect it, and then you'll get some extra focusing tools to be able to ensure if you're using a Sony lens that someone's in focus. So if you're trying to make sure that your stream looks good or your video looks good and it's got the really good look and the person's in focus, and you're not used to using focus peaking tools and stuff like that, you can use what's called focus mapping, which is pretty awesome. Now, you'll see this, they're talking about beautiful skin tones. That part's awesome. Slow motion video. I love slow motion video. I don't know about you guys, but I love using slow motion video, and it's just one of those pieces that just works out really, really good. It's been one of my more favorite pieces to work with because it makes it to where you have extremely good. The video itself gives you a flavor. It's like, if you ever had good Cajun food? You got to have that mix. And having that with it, you really do get that fix, that look. Yeah. That being said, we're going to go off the slow-mo portion and we're going to jump right into the part where we start talking about some of the other features like handheld stability. There's an electronic stability system on this, which is really nice. It gives you really good stability for a small camera. Not superb, but really nice if you're hand holding it. It's going to give you the gyro data, and then especially if you do post-productions, you will get really good just stabilized footage. There's a software called Catalyst Browse. They give it to you for free, and it will allow you to just get really good, uh, amazing just stability on there. Thank you for watching. I see there's a couple of y'all out there watching right now. Appreciate y'all watching the stream. Um, we're going through the ZV-E10 Mark II. If you have any questions, just comment. Feel free to comment anytime you like. Um, let me jump in the stream and just put say it. If you have any questions, just ask them along the way. Um, and let me tell you why I know a little bit of experience about the stability assist is because I do normally about 2 to 4 shoots a week using the Sony branded cameras, and the gyro data is really nice to have. This electronic gyro data for live streaming, for any type of video you're going to do, because it's going to give you like the cleanest, the best stability, and it's going to have the data behind it to back it up. So you can go to Catalyst Browse and then you can get it stabilized through, so you can have good footage. Now, does anyone have any questions of why I chose the ZV-E10 Mark II? Sony's naming convention is terrible. So if y'all are like, why did they name their cameras this? I have no clue. I wish they did a better job naming them, but going from there. One of the reasons why I chose it too, we just went past stability, we're going to go to sound, is they give you two really cool things. They give you a directional microphone on the camera. So if you've ever worked with like the Samsung phones or anything like that, or the new iPhones that have the directional microphones, this works the same way. You pick either yourself as the direction that the mic picks up, the person in front of you, or everywhere around you. That's pretty cool. They also give you what they call a dead cat. It's like the worst name for anything. Dead cat. I get it. It's an old school name for video productions, but it's a dead cat, and it blocks off all the extra wind. It also does come with the MI shoe. I'm glad Sony did this because it gives you the option of having digital sound in it, and those are some of the best features that you'll have in any of these cameras, is having the ability to get digital sound. Canon's now introduced it with their multi-shoe, just now introduced it, but Sony's had this on their cameras since the A6000s. And the ability to have XLR audio onto this camera, you could do like a professional interview with your favorite sports star and stuff like that with an XLR mic, or with someone you want to catch on the socials, which is cool. Another big thing that you may or may not take advantage of is this all intro. Now, for those who aren't into the all intro, what that really means is instead of it being the same as your cell phone, where it's just like a digital frame that's like a mix, it's a true single frame for frame video shot. It takes up a lot more data, but it also gives you a lot more to work with to give you real cinematic look, including cinematic grain, versus noise reduction and other stuff that's pre-baked into it. You can actually bake your own noise reduction into it. And this one also comes with S-Log3. So combining those two together, you can get some amazing color. You have the ability to pick your color in post-production. That's huge. Having a $1,000 camera that you can pick your color in post-production is phenomenal. Not every one of the camera manufacturers will give you that, because I'll be real with you, it's not the easiest thing. They don't want to give up the stuff they have with their higher end cameras, and Sony will. Sony's not going to fight you on this. They're going to say, hey, we're going to go with this. We're going to give you what you want. For all those who've watched so far on the live, thank you. This is the second live on this camera because the first one was a failure. My apologies up front for those who were on the first live stream on this one. We had audio issues because of a setting that was done on here, because I didn't check it, so please forgive me. If you have any questions on this camera, please feel free to ask. This is a ZV-E10 Mark II. I'm telling you, this is probably one of the best cameras you can use for live streaming and all the rest. One of the other reasons why I know it's a really good camera, let me refresh you guys' memory as to what this camera is. The only reason why I know this is a really good camera is I was doing some filming for a podcast that's a pretty big podcast in the political sphere in the Pacific Northwest, and they sent me out the predecessor, the E10, and I got an opportunity to work with it. And now this one has the updated sensor that's the same as the FX30, so you're really just getting that body, but with all the FX30 features, a vast majority of the features, which really sets it apart. Now, as we scroll back down here, we're going through some of the cool stuff on this, the S-Log3. For those who are doing video, who want to do vertical-oriented video, which I know a lot of people right now who do not turn their camera horizontal, do not ever care to, and they support everyone who is in the vertical game, which that's the phone game, y'all. This is the phone game. If you aren't doing the phone game, you're not in the game. If you're not doing a vertical stream like what I'm doing right now, this is a vertical stream. I'm doing it from EV-Mux because they have the option to just set up vertical, and it goes directly onto YouTube's vertical and multi-stream too. So right now I'm streaming on 2 different of my channels. Wow, I'm just thinking about that. That's pretty cool. But they do vertical format, so if you want to set up some vertical format, that's really cool. They also have the product button. This is actually really nice. So if you tap that button, the C1, it's a background defocus. Essentially, you take a product, you put it right in front of the camera, and it zooms onto that one, and then it comes back to you, which is pretty nice. It also has the wide and tight feature on here, so if you happen to buy one of the power zoom lenses, you can go wide or tight just by using that little toggle there, which is really cool when you're out there shooting. Ton of function buttons so you can create efficiently. Live streaming. Now, if you're a live streamer and you want to just live stream wherever you're at, but you don't want to do it on your cell phone because you want a little bit higher resolution, you can with this, which is awesome. I do it sometimes because I can, and it's going to be a horizontal. It's not going to be vertical, but you can stream in 4K 30, which is awesome. And it's just a Wi-Fi connection piece, so you just Wi-Fi connect to the camera. The camera does all the heavy lifting, so the camera itself streams at 4K. Let me say that one more time. The camera itself streams at 4K, which is beautiful. So you just have your phone up. You can answer any comments that are going on, or you can just talk, or you could be IRL someplace, and you can put a Rode Wireless Pro mic on or a DJI mic on and just be talking and have the camera pointing out at things. You're talking things there. You can set the camera up like it has right there on the table and start talking about what's going on. And you can even see yourself in the screen, or if you want to, you can go into YouTube on your phone on the same one you're doing there, and you can even answer questions to people if they have questions. I mean, some of the people I know that use this really love it because it's a step ahead of the game. The other part is, too, say, for example, opportunities to present itself, and you can be streaming, or you're doing something, or you can have your camera out, and someone's like, man, I wish I could have live streamed this event. You can make a little money. You literally can make a little money. You can just like, hey, yeah, I can live stream for you right now. What's your YouTube account, whatever, and just log in and live stream right there with the phone, with the camera, with no phone. And when you've done it, you're like, whoa. And I did it for a long time, and I love it. It's a really cool feature that Sony has at an inexpensive price with the EV-E10 Mark II. And then you can also hook it in USB-C to your laptop, and it's your webcam. And it's a 4K webcam too, 4K 30. So either way, you get a 4K camera for web browsing, streaming, or up front, and it's just super, super clean. That's $1,100. Super cheap. The Creators app is awesome because if you're going to connect to like a lot of third-party platforms and you want to be able to send information, transfer stuff to the cloud, it's all on there. There's also the Monitor Control app, which allows you to control the camera from an iPad and all the rest. And then, the Zero, whatever, platforming stuff. I'm done with talking about what the camera looks like and the specs and stuff on that. If you have questions on the EV-E10 what it can do, how it can do, ask me. I'd love to hear any questions you have because I'm going to be on for the next 10 more minutes. It'll put us at about 35 minutes of streaming on this. The first time I went for a little bit longer, but I was talking about 2 cameras, but I'm talking about 1 this time. I see there's a couple of you on the stream, so if you have any questions on this camera, I'd love to hear what those questions are. Type them in, I'll answer anything you got. This is question and answer time. Put that in the comment. So for the next 10 minutes, this is question and answers. If you have any questions on this particular camera itself, first and foremost, I'm not being paid by Sony. I just love the products. I've used them a long time, and they've been very, very successful for me. And they've worked out great, and I love these product lines. So if you have any questions, type them in. I'll answer any questions you happen to have. If you just want to say hi, or if you want to put a like in, appreciate you doing that too. Um, I'll be having more of these vertical streams throughout the month. For those who watched the first stream, I apologize for the audio again. It was just one of those, I know now not to do that here. And if you have a camera already, which camera do you have? I see there's about 3 of y'all on the stream watching right now. Thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all. Um, feel free to ask any questions you may have. I'll be up for the next couple of minutes on here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you chiming in and watch the live stream. Let me know where you guys are at. What city or what country are you watching this stream from? I'm just curious. Most of my streams are late night because I'm working during the day, and I never know where these streams are going to come from. I do appreciate everyone who's watching it. I'm assuming y'all love cameras because I love cameras and I love video stuff. So I'd like to hear what you got to say on it. Feel free to comment. I'm looking for some of those so I can answer any questions, or we could just talk about where y'all are from and what y'all like to do. A little bit about me when it comes to video productions. I started doing video productions. My education started in 1993. Did live shows there. I used to do 2 live shows a week in 1993. That's way a lot of work back then. You couldn't just randomly do a live stream like you can do right now. And then since 2020, I have been part of at least 2 to 4 large productions that included video walls, live streaming, or live to tape every single month, which is pretty cool. I mean, being able to do that's awesome. We used to have a facility out in Bellevue. That one has closed down due to our third-party partner has switched out buildings, so now they're going to a new location, and there's a new partner we're developing in Seattle, which will have an amazing podcast studio, which will most likely have 3 of these cameras in it, by the way. So a wide and 2 tight angles is we're going to use for the EV-E10 Mark IIs, and they're going to be our visual podcast cameras for that location. These, and then we're going to upgrade to the FX30s as we move along, and we go to a bigger room in there. The reason why I'm choosing these particular cameras is, number one, you can do 4-channel audio with them, with the handle, or with the K3M. Number 2, the visual on it is the same as the FX30. I mean, if you are looking at an FX30 right now, which is a really great deal, by the way, $1,700, but you don't quite have that much money, you just want to start off with a nice camera, take some cool video, here's your bet right here. You're going to get 80% of the FX30 in the EV-E10 Mark II. And you're also going to get some exclusive features that are specifically for the EV-E10 Mark II, one being the microphone that's built into it, and the other being the product button, so you can just press a button on the top and have it lined in on a specific product. So I think that part is phenomenal. So if you're looking at those cameras and you're thinking about what can I do that's going to be just a spectacular camera for me to start off with, it's going to be this one here. If you're interested in the the Sony FX30 is also going to be this camera. Now, if you're a Sony fan or a Panasonic fan, let me know. We're hitting the 30-minute mark, so I'm about to jump off the live unless people have questions. I will be doing more of these lives now that I like the way this process works. Most likely going to be doing this with a multi-camera setup. So that's going to be interesting, and we're going to kind of go from there. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you jumping in. Looks like two of you just joined in here on the live stream. Appreciate y'all watching over here on A.P.C. Productions Northwest, or North Productions Washington. Sorry, I have two channels. And so I've got A.P.C. Video and Audio and A.P.C. Productions Washington. If you got questions on how these would work in productions on a daily bit, you've got about 4 more minutes to ask, and then I'm going to be jumping off the live stream. So let me know what you think. Also, how do I sound? I'm curious. I haven't really checked the audio on this one in a couple of minutes, so I'm not sure. I'm in a place that's not super packed, but it's got some people in there. Virtual background right now, just so I don't put other people's faces out there. So just let me know what you think. Curious, what do I sound like here? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Well, this sounds better than the previous stream because the previous stream was terrible. I was so embarrassed. Have any of y'all have any of y'all been embarrassed by anything you did when it comes to doing like a live stream or anything like that? Because I was, and I was more embarrassed for the people who are watching it because I never want to hurt people's ears. And I appreciate people who are watching this, and half the time you're going to be using earbuds like I do. I mean, I listen to a lot of stuff on YouTube all day long while I'm doing other work because, same as listening to music or anything else. So just like you, I got earbuds in, and I'm just like, hey, what's up? I want to hear what's going on. But, man, earlier it was a mess up. Anyway, thank you, everyone who watched tonight. You guys are so phenomenal. You didn't have to watch. You're great. I appreciate you. If you subscribe, that would be phenomenal too. It's up to you, of course. If you're interested in more camera gear and stuff like that, I'll be doing more of these videos. I'll actually start showing some of the videos we do with these cameras because I want you to have an opportunity to see them. That being said, y'all take care. Trying to get this interface to work a little bit better. And talk to you later. Peace.